Good. I'm an attacker, you cake sucker. You want to go steal something from some fucking store?
And now, Cheese Wits.
Hey, look at my hair. I was looking the other day. I've got an appointment finally to get a haircut on Wednesday.
Because you bring up your hair every single week.
Yeah, look at it. It is crazy. I had my hair the other day. I was looking at it because I don't like my hair long. I like it pretty much, an inch. That's it. But I was looking the other day and I looked very much like a 70s porn star. It was all feathery on the sides and my hair curls a lot. Like I've just gotten out of the shower, so right now I've got it all slicked back, and now I look like a I don't know, a bad 60s cop show. I'm trying to think of that guy.
Are you the bad guy, or
Dennis
are you
Farina? What was his name?
Oh,
remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to always have his hair kind of like this. Luckily, I have, I've got unbelievable amounts of hair, like a ton of hair. I don't know how I get so much of it, but yeah, I was looking. My hair was very feathery, and my hair was looking attractive. And then I realized I'm not 17 anymore. I can't have feathered hair.
You can have whatever kind of hair you want, regardless of your age. No. It doesn't matter.
It looks like some sort of.
If you like it, you get to do it. It doesn't matter.
I look like some sort of Sean Cassidy's throwback.
In 2023, we are doing what the fuck we want to do.
Yeah, that might be a problem. That doing what the fuck we want to do thing is, I think that might be a problem. As long as it doesn't
hurt anybody else, who cares?
I don't know if it doesn't hurt anybody else.
Your hair doesn't hurt anybody else.
My hair?
Yeah.
No, you know what? I'm not sure. Because, listen, I wrote down something. I don't know where I saw this from, but where this emanates from. But someone had written on Facebook, I think it was a Facebook, I saw it, I am triggered by people's good looks.
That doesn't mean you're hurting them.
They're triggered by it.
That is a them problem.
Someone might be triggered by my very voluptuous hair.
That is a them problem.
Voluptuous, not voluptuous. There's two different words, the lump and the voluptuous.
Your hair does not hurt anybody, even the triggered.
I don't know. It might.
Even the triggered.
So I wish Chris was here. I'm going to just bring this up anyways, even though he's not here. So I was in the grocery.
Wait, should we just update why Chris is not here?
Yeah, that would be good.
He had some unforeseen circumstances that he didn't foresee until I begged him for an answer 4 minutes before we were supposed to start.
Oh, wow.
Unforeseen circumstances. I'm not mad.
No,
go ahead.
You sound completely in control.
I'm not annoyed.
Undeterred, undisturbed, not at all upset.
Not annoyed at all.
Really, just really sort of going with it.
Going with the flow is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very nice.
Continue with your grocery. Story.
So Chris isn't here because I'm going to add. He's not here because he's at the bowling alley working.
Yeah.
He has 2 birthday parties.
2 birthday parties. Everybody called off.
I was at a bowling alley birthday party with my grandson years ago, maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and there was another birthday party going on, and a fight broke out in the birthday party.
Oh, the other birthday party.
Yeah, and the other birthday party wasn't our birthday party, but the other birthday party was a marinated family. Hey, what is that called?
Blended family?
Blended family, not marinated.
What are they marinating in, Wally?
Well, apparently they were marinating in a bunch of shit because they're over there, and the dad who was not part of the family got into a loud talking match with the mother's new boyfriend about a gift that was brought.
See,
And then it went from loud talking to shouting, and then shouting to yelling.
God, that poor
and then
kid.
swearing, and then punching, and then kids crying.
Oh, that
and then
poor
women
kid.
fighting. And the women were fighting.
Man.
The women were throwing punches.
People gotta be adults when it comes to that shit. Like,
And
be mad all you want to be, but don't ruin your kid's birthday over it.
If you are not a trained fighter, watching people who are not professional fighters fight is perhaps one of the funniest things to witness and one of the scariest things to witness.
Yeah.
These people are just flailing like fish laying on the beach trying to get back to the water with seagulls flying out of them. Just arms are flying and shit's everywhere. And not for nothing, bigger folks who don't move as well are even more humorous to watch fight
You
because
know what you're doing.
they're always bouncing in to shit. So I'm sitting there watching them saying, please don't fall into our party area. And they were fighting and fighting and fighting. And so I wanted to say something, but I did go over and say, hey, get the fuck out of here. This isn't your business. Well, no, it's not my business.
But you've made it everybody's business, you fucking assholes.
We're trying to have a little party over here, and you guys are hitting the shit out of each other. Well, you're swinging and missing and trying to hit each other. Yeah. So anyways, Chris he's got 2 birthday parties, right? That's
right.
What he's letting us know. So I'm in the grocery today or yesterday, and there's a girl working, and she's very upset. She's very, very upset. She's probably, 20, 21, 22, somewhere in that range. And she's talking with her compatriot, and she's saying, I have worked 3 straight days. I need time off. I am so stressed out. I can't work 3 days in a row and not be stressed out.
Me
and
too. Me too.
What?
I'm so stressed out.
3 days and you're stressed? 3 5-hour days and you're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do.
Well, I was going to say if it was Walmart, 3 days is probably like a month.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
The customers.
You were loving Walmart for some reason today. Look at you.
Listen, I had a good experience there today. I don't mean to alarm anyone.
All right.
But I had a good experience at Walmart today.
Go on.
Well, so I got a screw in my tire. And I saw it last night, but it was like 6. And I was like, I don't think there's anybody that's going to do anything about it today. So I'll wait until morning. I aired the thing up and it held air for a little while. So I thought, no emergency. It's fine.
You aired it up.
I aired the tire up. I have my little compressor thing. It's fine. And then this morning it was at 15. So I was like, all right, let me take it over. I mean, it's a Sunday, so the only place that's going to be open today to do anything about it is Walmart, and I can't wait. I have to get it, I need my car.
Yeah, sure.
So I take it over and ask if they can patch it up. But my tires are kind of old. They were like, no, ma'am. So I had to buy a new tire, which...
Now, they let you buy just one tire?
They let me buy just one, and they didn't try to upsell me at all. And I know I should have bought at least 2. Like, I know. But it's not in the budget right now. I'm trying to buy, it's just not, it's not in the budget. So the only bad part is that they took my car, they took my car back and they said it would probably be about 45 minutes because there was another car ahead of me. And so I went to do my grocery shopping, and then halfway through my grocery shopping, I thought I heard them call my name, but I wasn't positive. So I just finished my stuff, went over, and he was like, yeah, we can't plug that tire. You need a new tire. And so I said, well, let's do it. Let's put a new tire on there. But by then, like, it's 1,000 degrees in Walmart. It's too hot. And I have a cart full of groceries, including frozen stuff. So I just walked outside. It's 40 degrees. I stood outside for 20 minutes. But they got it done really fast. Like, they didn't try to upsell me. They got the stuff done really fast. Within 20 minutes after I said, let's put a new tire on it, my car was done and ready to go. And I was on my way home. So Very nice experience at Walmart.
That's the advantage, though, of having people that know their job and what they're doing.
Yeah.
When you have that's called skilled labor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of what's missing is skilled labor. There's a lot of just bodies filling cubicles
for sure,
or the space. So it's really nice when you get somebody who's actually knows what they're doing. It also makes the exchange between you and them much better.
Yeah,
because they're not frustrated and you're not frustrated. It's one person who knows what they want, another person who knows what you need. Mm-hmm. Coming together and getting it done.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I like. I like that a lot.
So Walmart, we're on the good side again. So how about sponsorship? We've got like 50 listeners. Come on. Waiting for the phone to ring, Walmart. I wish we could really tell how many people are listening. It's hard to tell because, like I was saying earlier, I don't know if the number that I see on our hosting site includes like Apple and Google and Spotify and all of the things, or if it's only people listening in that spot and then all of the other numbers are separate. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I do know. Wait, we got one more review.
Oh, I see you. It's so funny when you're looking at your computer and you're talking to me because I can see you like looking right through me, right past me. Sort of the way like girls have always done, women have always done. They've always looked just right through me and past me. Yeah, they have.
Still only 10 ratings. But we have a new review from Betty Lynn, who writes, "Hilarious, my new go-to podcast when I need a good laugh. Seriously funny, all the exclamation points."
Betty Lynn.
Betty Lynn.
Probably not from the Northeast, I'm guessing.
Well, I don't know.
Betty Lynn is not a Northeast name.
No, but it turns out that they let people go anywhere.
Yeah, well, they do. But people generally from the Northeast don't use their middle name unless they're wanted by the law. That's the only time you see a middle name in the Northeast, if it's wanted by the law.
Yeah, could be.
Otherwise, you don't.
But Betty Lynn, we are grateful for you.
People about in the South are much they're much prouder of their entire name.
Yeah. Or sometimes a name like Betty Lynn could be the first name, and then there's also a middle name.
That's it. So that is a southeastern sort of name, I think. The Betty Lynn, like my wife's middle name, she never uses her middle name. Mm-mm. And I've known people with her name who they're both names and they only use the first name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know. It's just my experience living in my short time, sort of in the South. Virginia's sort of the South. And it's not really the South, though, is it?
Yeah, I would say Virginia's the South.
It's.
I mean, I know it's about perspective, but it's certainly the South from where you are.
Yeah, it's south of New England, but it's not. When you get into,
I mean, it's not the deep South.
Alabama and Mississippi and
it's a different South.
Georgia and those Souths, not Georgia so much, but Alabama, Mississippi, Missouri, Texas. That's a different South.
Yeah,
that's a different kind of South.
Mm-hmm.
Very different. I learned something too about Martin Luther King Day.
Okay.
In 2 states, I believe it's Alabama and Mississippi, they don't call it Martin Luther King Day.
What do they call it?
Robert E. Lee and Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There's absolutely no sort of racism undertone harbored there.
You know, I read this book a couple of months ago. And it's called The Children, and it's about the lunch counter protests in the South and then the freedom rides and all of that. And I just like I'm not surprised that there was racism. Obviously, I know that there was serious, severe racism, but at the same time, in my perspective from 2023, it blows my mind that there were people so upset about people who look differently than they do asking to have the right to ride a bus and sit on whatever whatever row they want to sit on, or asking to be served in a restaurant just like anybody else. They are so very upset by this that they are blowing up bombs and beating the hell out of people and shooting people, and it blows my mind that these people were considered reasonable, rational people, righteous in any way. It just, again, I'm not surprised that like, I know that it happened. It just is inconceivable to me that anybody could think that way.
So today there was another mass shooting. I think it was today, either late last night or early today.
Oh, there was?
In California.
Oh.
So this will date the show a little bit, but I think it was Chris Rock who used to do a joke, and may still do a joke, say whenever he saw something bad in the news, he said, "Oh, please don't be a black person. Please don't be a black person." I sort of feel that way now about these mass shootings and stuff. Please don't be a white person. Please don't be a white person. Because it seems like they're fucking just these nut jobs are out there doing it. So this shooting was in California. It was in an Asian community. And they described the assailant. I think 7 people were killed. I think it was 7 or 8. I think it's 7 people. The assailant was an Asian person, or so that's how they described it. Not my description, their description, the police's description out there. But again, it's another fucking hate crime for whatever reason. How the fuck do people hate so many people so strong? I was trying to think, why am I liberal? Because I'm sort of a liberal guy.
Yeah.
And I see a lot. You see a lot on Facebook, scum publicans or Democrat assholes or whatever these people call each other.
So stupid.
Why do you call each other these fucking stupid names? And I'm saying, why am I sort of a liberal guy? And I've boiled it down to this, because I don't care. I don't care what color you are. I don't care your gender. I don't care your gender identification. I don't care what your sexual practice is. I don't care about any of that shit. I just care you're a human. That's all I give a shit about.
Like, live and let live.
Yeah, I don't care about any of the rest. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what color fucking car you drive. I don't care. I just don't give a shit what religion you are. It doesn't matter to me. It's not one of the first questions. It's never been a question I've asked. I just want to, are you an asshole or are you not an asshole?
Let me read you something.
Even some of my friends are assholes, so it's okay. I even like assholes. Are you reading these?
I'm going to read you something. This is off of, I screenshotted it so I could send it to my friends to make fun of this man, because it's off of one of the dating apps.
Yeah. Oh, is this one that you were trolling?
Trolling.
Not try. I mean, trying to fish in.
The guy? No, you.
Is it one of your dating apps where you look?
Oh, yeah. This is a guy that came up in my feed.
Trolling is fishing.
So the there are prompts that you can answer, right? So, and these two are on the same screen. Like there's one right after the other. The first prompt says, "My personal hell is ... His answer: meeting a woman and realizing she's only a woke drama queen who doesn't have her life together because she focuses on trying to change everyone else's world." So he's a charmer, right? He's a prince.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Next prompt: my real life superpower is... His answer: being able to get along with anyone, even have a conversation with someone that may disagree with me and win them over. Most say I'd make a great politician, a unifier.
Unless you're woke.
Unless you're a woke bitch. Drama queen. Trying to change everybody else's life.
These cocksuckers. They're just, what the fuck?
Right?
I fucking don't. I don't know. I just don't understand. It was never this hard,
There was one I saw the other day that said, if you are a person who... I got to find it because I screenshotted that one too because it made me laugh so hard.
I think it was much better old school dating when you didn't get to have any insight into somebody and figure it out as you went?
I don't know, because I wouldn't be wasting, if I met these guys in person, I wouldn't know that they were like this until
you've had that
probably farther
a couple horrible experiences
along the line. Here's the other one about me. This is his entire bio. If you back into parking spots or pull forward through a parking spot instead of backing out, then please swipe left. Oh, I back into my driveway every single day, so I guess I'm going to miss out on this prince. Poor me.
I am a little bit bothered. Not that I am a little bit bothered at the Walmart when people back into spots.
Why? It has nothing to do with you. Which
they have no business trying to back into. It's usually someone with a gigantic truck.
Yeah.
And they're backing out, then back out again, then back in again. It's 2, 3, 4 times before they actually get the backing up correct.
Well,
if you can't do it,
that's just somebody who doesn't know how to back up the car.
Just pull in.
Because it doesn't take me 3 or 4 tries, and I back into every parking spot I can.
It doesn't take
the
me
only time I don't do it is if there's somebody waiting behind me. Like, I'm not going to make somebody wait so that I can back into a parking spot.
Oh, Jess. Yes. That's not how these people, most of the rest of the people are. They don't give a shit about what if you're waiting for them.
I try to be a good citizen in general.
I'm in my space.
Yeah.
Don't crowd my space. There's my new voice.
That's great. That's a great voice.
Isn't that good? Yeah. Is that fantastic?
That's nice.
Yeah, no, it's fucking people are constantly in, they really do think that the world should stop for them while they do their thing.
Yeah. That's true.
Now, I'm sure I'm that way once in a while. But for the most part, again, I'm in this space. I don't care. I'm not going to inconvenience you.
Right. You're going to stop and see if your cart is in the middle of the aisle at the grocery store and pull over to the side if somebody can't get by you. And you're not going to make people wait. No, in the grocery store,
I leave my cart in the middle.
No, you don't.
I do.
Why?
Because when you pull over to the side, you block the aisle, because the grocery stores now have too much shit. So listen, when you go to the milk thing and you park against the first door, and then you go to the second door, and you're usually blocking 3 doors. When you park in the middle, people can either go by you or they have access to everything on either side.
I'm talking about people who park in the middle of who put their cart in the middle of the aisle and you can't get around them.
Oh, yeah. Everybody can get around in the store when you park in the middle. At least when I'm in the middle, because they can come from either side.
I feel like we're talking about a different middle.
No, I mean in the middle. In the middle, right? Like where the column is. I park up against the column or park in the middle. The only thing that makes it difficult in stores now is they have too many fucking little displays in the aisle.
Yeah.
So then when you do park on the side, you're blocking a quarter of the aisle. Mm-hmm. For access. So that's why I park in the middle, so you can get by me.
Yeah.
Or get access to whatever's against the wall or the other side. And I think most people do that. But now they used to do grocery stores, they used to stock shelves at night, overnights, right?
Yeah, no, they were stocking in the middle of everything at Walmart today.
Yeah. You've got the Coke fucking, pallets are there in the soda aisle, and there's the Poland Spring water pallets are there, and the Pepsi guy is there. You can't get a fucking cart down the aisle.
Mm-mm.
You gotta walk down with a knapsack and get what you want if you want shit, and throw it in your knapsack and go back up.
Going with your knapsack.
Oh, there's a lot more of that now.
I can just see you getting arrested now because you put stuff in your knapsack.
Oh yeah, people do it I see people all the time. You know who I see steal? Here's who I see steal the most stuff. I see it all the time. Teenage girls steal a lot of makeup and
I
shit.
did when I was a teenage girl.
And
until I got caught.
People in their over 65 or so steal a lot.
I think both of those things make sense.
Yeah, I sort of do too. Because the teenage girls are stealing what their parents, what their mom says, you can't put makeup on your face.
Yep.
My daughter, I remember I was very much against her wearing makeup until I thought she was able to apply it correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't look like she was coming out of Barnum and Bailey, and so that she didn't catch flack for it, because she was going to catch flack or attract the wrong kind of fuck up.
Yeah.
So but
you can't tell a teenage girl shit. You know that, right?
No, you can't.
You can tell her no all you want, but she's going to put the shit on as soon as she gets to school.
So my daughter would get chapstick, cherry or strawberry chapstick, and it was a little bit red, and she'd put it on her lips so that made them a little red, which was fantastic. I said, Jesus, you go through a lot of chapstick. And she, my lips are and I'd look, and it's like, damn, she's got like 3 inches of wax on her. It's that, and old people, they're stealing stuff because they can't fucking afford to get,
I mean, if they're on a limited income. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and they're taking, they're taking things like aspirin and medicines and over the counter
shit. That shit's expensive.
Yeah, it is, and I see them taking stuff, and so that's sort of a quandary for me to say, do I say something or do I not? And then I put myself in because I know that their thievery is costing me money in the end.
Yes.
It's increasing. I don't buy mascara or lipstick, so that shit doesn't bother me. But when you're stealing Advil and olive oil,
yeah,
those are things I buy. And then I decide it's not my responsibility.
True.
It's not my responsibility.
True.
To police other people. So I let it be.
I absolutely got caught shoplifting when I was a teenager. Absolutely got caught.
I used to shoplift a lot when I was a teenager.
And then I got, I didn't get arrested that time, but I was in the mall and they like made an announcement over the whole mall for my father to come to this store.
Oh.
And so I was grounded through all of high school anyway, like literally almost literally all of high school I was grounded. I did things like the musical and sports because those were commitments that would get me out of being grounded. Like my grounding wouldn't include softball practice or play rehearsal.
Extracurricular activities.
Yeah. But I was grounded through almost all of it. So I'm sure I was grounded for a really long time for that. And then later my dad actually called the police on me himself because I stole $20 out of his wallet.
For real?
Yep.
Why didn't he just beat you?
I think at that point I was like 14 or 15. He was blind by then. He lost his eyesight because of diabetes. And I think by that was after, I'm almost positive.
You couldn't convince him it wasn't you? He was blind.
No, he caught me. He caught me doing it. And I gave the cop attitude because I was a 14-year-old girl.
Good for you.
And so he threatened me. Like there was a whole, it was a whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I was a troubled youth. In fact, at some point I got sent to this. I feel like I remember that my mother sent me to it, but it might have been the judge that sent me when my record was sealed because of the shoplifting and the stealing from my father. And one of those things I had to go to court for. And my record was sealed. At some point after that, whether it was the judge's ruling or my mother, I got sent to this program for troubled youth after school. And the woman who ran the program, much to my mother's dismay, I ended up dating her son years later. But she couldn't figure out what I was doing there. I had good grades. I was a nice kid. And all the other kids in this program were gang members. All of them. So literally the only thing that happened to me from this program was that I made friends with gang members and learned how to get away with more shit.
So you were a reform school girl?
I don't know if it can be considered.
You are an after-school special, baby.
I don't know if it can be considered reform school because, like, I was at the regular school. I just went to this program after school.
Oh, you're like, instead of Alice doesn't live. Jess doesn't live here anymore.
Yeah.
I
made friends with gang members and learned how to get away with more
shit. We didn't have any gang members where I was, but in high school, I ran a little business selling stolen Levi's.
Wow.
I used to go to the Gap. Remember when the Gap was a store back then where kids shopped?
It still is, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's more of a adulty kind of thing now, but back then, and that's when, and I sold Levi cords. If you gave me your size, I sold them for $5 a pair.
Really?
And I sold that, and I sold gold chains that I would get from Spencer Gifts.
You fancy.
Yeah, I was. And I ended up getting, later on in my first year of college, I also got caught stealing. That's the only time I got caught, but I got banned from Kmart.
I got banned from the store that caught me too, and like banned for life. I don't know if that store still exists, but I think if it did, I would hesitate before walking in there today.
Banned from life. But I one time I stole a boombox one time.
Oh wow.
And I'm going to tell you how I did it.
Okay.
Boombox, this is shit that was big. Look at you. Look at, now you're all tatted up. Your gang member.
My gang affiliation.
I'm with the butterflies, man. Don't fuck with me. I walked. This was at Kmart. And back when Kmart, I think it was Kmart, when they had a it was a Walmart, and they had
it was a Walmart.
It was it was a Kmart. They had a auto center, and I had the boombox in a box, and I went in and just said, "Oh, is my mom's car ready yet?" And I said, "No." I said, "Oh, I'm going to just wait outside then," and I carried the thing right outside, and that was it.
Oh my God. That's brilliant. I didn't actually have the balls to talk to people while I was stealing their shit.
Yeah. But I too, like you, I was a way troubled youth. I was in the foster care for 15 years, and I was in and out of. I spent a few times in juvenile hall and in the youth detention program.
Yep.
And I was a runaway, and all of the other stuff went along with it through different periods, not all together. This period, it depended on how I was being treated and what my reaction was. But oh yeah, I did those things. But now I'm the guy who's, if I find your wallet, I'm returning it to you.
Oh, same.
And the money that's in it.
Same. Like I can't even fathom the idea of trying to steal something.
Yeah. So whatever's in it, I'm returning it, and it's not in me anymore to do those kinds of things. But as a youth, again, it is, and I know your childhood, and I know it's, hey, I need some attention. Mm-hmm. Yep. I need someone to notice me, and that's exactly what my motivation was. I need to be noticed. I need some attention. One time I ran away. Jess, maybe I already told this, but I lived in one of those camp houses that people have around the lake.
Oh, really? Yeah,
I lived on for a whole week.
Wow.
Because it had food and electricity. And
did you know who owned it, or you just
I had no idea. It was just down on the Cranberry Bog Lake. Huh. And it was in the winter. And I lived in somebody's house and used their electric blanket and ate whatever canned food. It was like canned beans and one of my favorite foods, I don't have it anymore, was Franco-American mac and cheese. Oh. It was they were long mac and cheese noodles. They were probably like 8 inches long, sort of wrapped up. It was the best mac and cheese ever.
I don't think I ever.
In a can. It was delicious.
It's funny. There are people I have discovered that are listening to this podcast that I went to school with, and I'm actually a little bit surprised because did you just yell "shut up"
to my dog?
I'm actually a little bit surprised because they're not people that I've actively kept in touch with, but we're Facebook friends. So one of them, when I posted I posted a link to our podcast on one of them, and she responded and said something about how people look at her funny when she's driving down the road because she's laughing so hard at us. And I was like, I don't think like she donates to my fundraiser sometimes, but we haven't like actively kept in touch with each other, and I don't think we've even talked directly to each other since we were maybe in elementary school. So that was one surprise, and then I got a message, and I think I sent you guys this one. From this guy who said, wanted to tell you I've been listening to your podcast and love it. So apparently I'm one of at least 10. Eventually I'll get around to reviewing it. Your sense of humor remains unchanged 30 plus years later. And I was like, what I said to him was, well, I'd like to think I've matured a little bit, but I totally also believe that I haven't. So
yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
but this guy, his mom and my dad dated briefly after my parents got divorced. And so he and I were never really close friends, but we kind of got thrown together for that brief period when our parents were dating each other.
See, I have so few people, just by the nature of the way I grew up, I have so few people that I have that are any sort of long-term friends. Any friends I have nobody that I've had as a friend for like 50 years or something.
But like these are not, like I said, these are not people that I've
or anybody even know from a childhood, right? Yeah. I don't have any of that. Like I'm so glad to have friends that are at least that I have a couple of friends I've had for 30 or so years. I have a couple of radio friends that I keep in contact with. There's a couple of high school friends.
Yeah.
I have one college friend who I'm really, really pretty close with. When I say pretty close with, it means I probably talk to him once every 6 weeks. Maybe I might call him. I mean, we go through spurts where we'll talk a couple times a week, and then we won't talk for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing each other every summer at a gathering. But I do not have, and I'm trying to wonder, is because I'm sort of envious of people who've had friends from grammar school and they're 50, 60 years old, 40 years old, and they've had these friends. Even though they've moved around, I envy that a little bit.
Now, there are people that I can say went back to as far as kindergarten that I at one point was close friends with until a few years ago. But a few years ago, I started to realize that all friends are not actually your friends. So I started letting groups of friends go here and there. And one of the groups of friends that I let go of was there was one that I had been friends with since kindergarten, and then another girl in the group I had been friends with since about third grade, and then a couple of people who were friends with the third grade friend from college, and we all sort of were friends together. But when I started to think about whether or not they were actually true friends and realized that they in fact were not, I was like, okay, I'm going to let them go. And I don't talk to them anymore. And now there's like so many people who make it clear that they're still in that gossip thing. Yeah. Like they're still gossiping about people that we went to high school with.
Well, they're using other people to make themselves feel better.
Yeah. And I don't do that shit anymore. So I don't. Like when it's clear that people are gossiping about me and other people are believing things, like that group of friends that I let go,
mean girls,
they kind of are, and it's become clear that they've been talking about me, and I don't care what they say, but what it's done is it's shown me when other people believe what those girls have said about me, even though my behavior demonstrates that what they've said is not true. If you choose to believe that, that's your problem. Like, that's not my problem. I don't need you.
That's a hard thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I think
I'm grown. Like, I know who I am.
People are conditioned, though, now to sort of just buy it. It's sort of the People magazine, local People magazine sort of way of doing things. Oh, did you read this? Did you hear this? Did you? Fuck, I don't care.
Yeah.
I so fucking don't care. So I have friends who may be considered complete dicks. Mm. And maybe they are to some people. Not to me.
Yeah.
They're my friend. Mm-hmm. And they treat me well, and I treat them well. And if it's a person I'd call if I needed something. Other people can't stay. That doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means you don't get along with them.
Right.
Or you guys don't have some sort of common thread. don't fuck my situation up because you can't get a situation.
Yeah.
Fuck you in your whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It just fucking walk.
Yeah.
But that should be true for everybody. But everybody's a fucking Mrs. Everybody can be a Mrs. Kravitz, right? They get on Facebook and they every fucking thing, and you can see it sometimes. I don't love it, but I sort of love it. I don't love it. You watch people have these ridiculous arguments, like people who are supposed to be couples they snipe at each other on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck you do? Don't air your dirty laundry out on fucking Facebook, dumbass.
Exactly.
Listen to Don Henley.
Exactly. Air it out in the front yard like the felonious cunt next door. And by the way, felonious cunt is going to be the name of my new band.
I remember Felonious Cunt's music. It was pretty good. It was good shit.
It's going to be the name of my band.
So what are you listening to? Felonious Cunt.
I am going to gossip about them, though. How about that?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
They're not your friends, so you can gossip.
Yeah, they're not my friends. They're just people who are fucking ridiculous. Because they were out in the front yard while he was out there screaming at her on Christmas Day in the front yard and all the way across the street. And then he would like get something out of his car and keep screaming. And she's just like, whatever. My other neighbor told me the other day, she's starting to realize she never should have let him come back after he got out of prison. You fucking think?
Starting to realize.
So now
she's on the spectrum of realization.
She's let him move back in and he won't leave, and he has a key and he won't give it back, and he shows up in the house when she's not home and she's not changing the locks. And he was out there the other day screaming at the top of his lungs about what a whore she is and how she'll fuck anything as long as she thinks it has money. And
that sounds like me.
It's a matter of time before he is back with guns. I know it is. It is a matter of time. But now she's thinking about, according to my other neighbor, she's thinking about going and finding someplace else to live and renting this house out. And I was like, if she could have made that decision a couple of months ago, I wouldn't have to sell my house. Whoa. Well, look who's joined the call.
Party boy.
I'll be here for about 15 minutes. I told my mechanic I've got to just drive around for 15 minutes. So,
party boy. How's the birthday parties going, party boy?
If I ever see another piece of pepperoni, I will fucking kill someone. Okay? Pizza's falling off of the conveyor belt while I'm trying to help someone else with a fucking Coke, and I look over there and I hear flop.
Wait,
and there goes the pizza.
You're making pizzas?
And of course, I'm making pizzas. I'm dealing with people's shoes. Sometimes I'm even washing hands in between. It's yeah.
Nice.
Not a fun day. Not a fun day.
So I was telling a story when we first started that sort of relates, I think, to what you're going through. So basically, you are running the show, you and maybe one other person at the bowling alley. You got a couple parties going. People have called in sick. I was telling Jess that earlier today I heard a girl, maybe in her very early 20s, talking about how she was so stressed out because she had worked 3 days in a row and she just couldn't do it again.
Yeah.
Is this who you employed, these fuckers?
No, actually, everyone that works there is part of the same family. Okay? They're all related to one of the other owners because nobody related to my ass. And when one gets COVID, they all do.
Oh.
Yeah. But guess what? I don't know who's running the place tomorrow because I'm going to be on Delta at about 7:30 heading to Alabama.
Oh, we talked about Alabama today, too.
Yeah.
Already?
Yes. We didn't talk about your Alabama, but we talked about Alabama.
Well, hell's bells.
We talked about it because it doesn't celebrate Martin Luther King Day. It celebrates Robert E. Lee and Martin Luther King Day, they call it.
Oh my.
Yeah, a little something going on. So in your whole pizza routing thing, you really don't have backup people? It's just you're just there and one other person or something?
No, it's just me. It's just me. And well, let's just say it's not just me. It isn't just me up front, but I've got a mechanic down back. I've got 30 lanes and I can't run everything without somebody in the back.
Yeah.
The ball boy.
So, and I told him, I'm like, just you got to get the fuck up here.
Oh,
and
that's what you meant with the mechanic. I thought.
Yeah. Oh no.
Car mechanic.
And the mechanic's one of these kind of Southern Maryland rednecks. Okay. And if you don't know the type, it's the ones that will continue talking and say a sentence as they're walking away from you. So you just hear it kind of fading down.
That sounds like my wife.
I'm like, Kenny, you got to come up here to the desk, man. I said, I need 15 minutes to make a phone call and do this. Okay, man, that's fine.
Yeah, my wife does that all the time, and she will talk to me. She will talk to me quite often, walking in the other direction with her back to me, and she knows I can't hear very well.
Me either.
Just years of headphones have really taken my hearing away.
I mean, it sounds like a German police car.
Yeah, that's what. Well, my wife sounds that way even with the word shit.
Wow.
No.
My Lord.
She walks from me talking all the time, and I know when she does that, she's saying something fucking really horrible to me that she wants to say and get it off her chest, her very ample chest.
Oh, we talked about that too.
She doesn't want me to hear it. I have ample chest. Is that what you said?
Yes, I heard that. I heard the ample chest thing. I remember you saying that.
Yeah. Well, I have ample chest. Me myself.
Well, we all have a good cup on this show.
Like I'm about in the I'm like in the 10th trimester. That's the size of my chest.
Yeah, mine are not the same size. I think I'm kind of like Baker and Charlie. So,
all right, so while you're on here, Chris, how about our girl Jess being on the short list of hey, it's award
Look
time.
at that! Look at that shit! I saw that, and I'm like, God damn! Like 3 or 4 people on my feed have got this thing all in a row, and I'm like, what the fuck is Jess posting? And then realizing that everybody else is posting their ones too. I'm like, I know like 4 of the people.
Yeah, so it's the Country Air Check Awards. Country Air Check is a like an industry trade publication, and I actually worked for them before I started working at Slacker Radio. And every year they give out awards at Country Radio Seminar.
You're
Very
a bad
good.
girl.
And I got nominated for national and or streaming programmer / curator.
That's great.
Well, you're considered a curator on streaming radio and a programmer on regular radio.
Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because it's all the same fucking thing.
It really
Nobody's keeping
is.
Score.
On some of the other streaming services, they only do playlists, and so that's a curation. But playlists play in a certain order, and we do stations, and it doesn't matter.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm nominated. I'm probably let's be real. I'm probably not going to win that one. It's really a popularity contest.
Hold your horses, Toots. Give yourself some credit.
Listen, I give myself a lot of credit. I know I'm great at what I do, but that's a popularity contest that's voted on by people in the industry.
So are you saying that you're not going to get Jessica Mitko's vote? Is that what you're telling me?
I don't even know if she's allowed to vote. Are trolls allowed to vote?
Oh, my Lord. She was a cutie. You know that as well as I do.
She's a cute troll.
She was a cutie. Now, yeah, well, if you like them 4'7", it's fine. Good Lord.
By the way, she is
congratulations.
still...
I think that, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say she's still stalking me. I got a notification on TikTok the other day that she looked at my profile.
She friended me, unfriended me, refriended me, unfriended me, and then just followed me. And I'm like, what kind of sick shit is this?
Was this TikTok? Recently?
Yeah, the last 6 months or so. And she's like working for Meals on Wheels or something now instead of even at the radio station.
Well, I know that somebody told me she was super obsessed with me when I left. And she was part of the reason I had to leave.
Does she love you?
She hates me. And so,
oh yeah, there was a little click there, Wally, that Jess and I were not a part of.
No, so I'm pretty sure, like, if she's still stalking me, like I think she is, she's probably listening. So hi, Jess.
So there's another thing.
Hey, honey, hold on 1 second, Wally. I need to get something out of my mouth real quick, okay? Because if she is listening, I just want to put it out there. I always wanted to bang you. Okay, go ahead, Wally.
He's pulled a couple off to you.
Yeah, I have pumped off more than you want to talk about because I was divorced at that point. So it was like, okay.
Wow.
Did you make like little? Did you make up little scenarios of how it would happen, and then yank one?
Jess, Wally doesn't know the building, but every time the scenario, and I was bopping my baloney to this girl, it was always on the steps going downstairs.
Like down to the production room?
That's the one. That's where.
And you would just meet on the stairs, and you just.
Oh yeah, there was meat on the stairs, all right, Wally.
Oh.
There was definitely some meat on the steps. That was.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah, and this voice she had. Yes or no, Jess? Was she or was she not Roy Firestein?
Yeah.
Really? And you were attracted to that?
Oh no, she had. There was something in her face. There was a certain.
She had these giant puppy dog eyes.
That's what it was. But while she was looking at you with those giant puppy dog eyes, it was, "Oh my lord, hello! I got to get to my psychiatrist."
So she had like a regular young girl eyes, a 20-year-old girl's eyes, but a 70-year-old smoker's voice.
That's exactly right. Oh God,
here, Chris.
Come here. Come on, Chris. Give me the cream pie, baby.
Stick
That's
your
what I
tongue
was
in my mouth, Chris. Tickle my tonsils, big boy.
Oh God, why couldn't we talk about this on the radio 10 years ago? I probably could have gotten laid, Jess.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's not like I didn't have enough shit coming after me back then because of her already.
So those situations, by the way, I think are the inadequacies of others feel about you, and that's why they attack you, because that's
exactly why, because they know you're doing your shit.
Well, that, and I wouldn't put up with their shit. I called them on their shit, and they didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, that always happens though when you're playing. So when you're climbing the ladder, and you've reached the next rung or 2 rungs or 3 rungs above, it's lots of times the folks who are fucking 2 or 3 rungs below you fucking hammer you.
Yeah.
And like somehow someone gifted you something, and not that you fucking put in 20 years and you fucking read everything so you could be aware of shit, and you worked and you learned all the fucking ins and outs, and you did your homework and you kept up to date on shit and you kept fucking bettering yourself. And those fuckers want to just slide in and say, "Oh, someone gave it to you." No, fuck you. They didn't give it to me.
Right.
I worked my goddamn fucking ass off.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's how I got here.
Yep.
And I'm funnier than you, not because I'm not fucking funny. It's because I know more than you. Because I'm going to say, I think this is true. Dumb people, and I'm saying dumb in a sort of people who don't try to learn anything, are not funny people.
Mm-hmm.
You can only be funny if you're aware of the fucking surroundings around you, so you can make fun of it.
Right.
That's correct.
If you're not fucking aware of anything, you can't be funny. Unless you fall and slip on the ice, then you're fucking funny. But other than that, you're not fucking funny. You have to know something to be funny. You have to be able to, and you have to know it well. You have to. So when Chris talks about I don't know, blowjobs, he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know what? Look, here's the thing. I mean, glad I didn't say given, but I've gotten a couple, and yeah, it's something that we can all sit and talk about. We can also talk about my big titties, because I got, Wally, big titties.
That's the other part about being funny, is you have to be able to take a hit on your own shit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know who you are and know what's funny.
Right.
So one of my strengths is I don't care if you hit me, because I know what my weaknesses are.
Right.
I've got titties. I'm in my 10th trimester of this pregnancy this time. I've got hair that's out of fucking just just ridiculously. I look like the fucking, all the things I said earlier, Jess, but sort of a 70s bouffant hairdo, sitting in a beauty shop, waiting to get under the fucking curler blow dryer thing, reading an Us magazine.
Yeah, I think you're giving yourself too much credit there, Mike Brady.
Oh, can you see my hair?
Yes, I have.
I have an appointment. Yeah, well, have you seen your hair?
My hair, I'm beginning to look like fucking Don King over here. So I cannot talk about anything.
My hair's
I cannot
fabulous.
talk about it.
Your hair does, your hair does look good.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, Chris, we were talking earlier about, Jess and I were talking earlier about our forays into shoplifting. Do you have any experience there?
Yeah, shoplifting. I remember it was at Safeway when I was young. And I don't know, the old Safeways, I don't know whether you've ever been into a Safeway, but the old Safeways, they used to have, instead of the straight conveyor belts, their conveyor belts were actually circular. So it was like a semicircle. You put your stuff up, it would spin around and get to the other side. And I guess it just took up too much room, but it gave a great place for me to hide a package of Starburst and throw it right up my sweater.
Starburst.
And the whole time,
That's
my grandma.
small potatoes.
What,
Yeah,
Starburst, what did you steal? A fucking BMW or a Country Air Check Award? What did you steal?
I mean, when I got caught, I stole a whole outfit.
So here's another one of my shoplifting tricks, Jess. Well, I used to steal Levi's from the Gap when I was a kid. You give your order, I'd go in with a bag and I'd put a couple pair of Levi's and I sold them for $5. I would steal boom boxes from Kmart. I'd walk through the car area where they fix cars. Oh, is my mom's car ready yet? Oh, it's not. And I'd walk out with the boom box in the box. One of the things I used to do, so I have a sister, a foster sister, who's in a wheelchair. And she has spinal bifida, so she has no feeling in her back. And we used to go to the record store and put albums in her wheelchair behind her, and she'd lean back on them, and we'd steal albums. Back when albums were something.
Before the little sensors were put on them.
Oh yeah, it was the 70s, Jess.
Yeah.
Come on. There was no censors in the 70s. Censors in the 70s were the person working behind the counter who was high and didn't really care so much.
You used your handicapped sister?
Yes, I did use my handicapped sister to say, but we'd get her album every now and again.
Oh, that is so nice of you.
Yeah, she liked the Carpenters. So we got her a Carpenters album, and
oh
she
my God,
Captain and Tennille, got her one of those.
Look, okay, so you have your spinal bifida foster sister.
Yes.
I had the autistic brother.
Yes.
And this is the story I'll leave you with because I told him I'd be back inside at 5. We're on a road trip, me, my mom, my dad, and Andrew. And, they were so happy whenever he would communicate. So I got onto this early as a fat kid as we're going down the road. And Andrew said, how about McDonald's? And Mom and Dad were like, oh, Andrew, that's so what? I pulled over to the next McDonald's. Well, I was done with my food, so I whispered in Andrew's ear, how about McDonald's? How about McDonald's? Oh, of course, Andrew. Are you hungry again? Let's go. So then we keep going, and we hit South Carolina. And how about Burger King? How about Burger King? Oh, Andrew, yeah, we're stopping at Burger King. Okay. So then the autistic boy all of a sudden grows a set of balls. Okay. And I say, how about McDonald's? And Andrew says, how about McDonald's? And my mother turns around and says, Andrew, Christopher, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. As a youth, it would be, I definitely used my handicapped sister to, because also we used to use we also had a differently abled, the Down syndrome foster brother, who was also used in our activities. So if ever we got caught, Ricky, you're not supposed to take stuff.
Oh my God.
We'd put stuff in Ricky's coat pocket and stuff. So if he ever did get caught, we'd put it in his pocket. If he got caught, Ricky, what did you do? Ricky couldn't remember if he did anything. But Ricky was a carrier of candies and that kind of stuff. All things that I have outgrown a long time ago.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think that I could get up the nerve to steal something, even if I wanted to.
We were both banned from stores, by the way, Chris. Were you ever banned from a store?
Yep.
No, I'm currently banned from bowling alley, though. Yeah, it's a long, weird story, but there's certain bowling alley I can't walk in. But kudos to you that you couldn't go into Kresge and Jamesway for a little bit. That's very good.
It was a Jamesway-like store that I got banned from. It was a store called Hills.
Close enough. We all know Hills.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Riches and Hills and those stores.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It was one of the big anchor stores at our mall.
Yeah, they were like Ames.
Yep.
Ames, like those. Oh, yeah. Zares was another one of those kind of stores in my area in Worcester.
We had Zare down here.
You had Zares?
I feel like we had Zares, maybe.
Yeah.
Zares are pretty awesome.
Hey, let me ask you a question, Wally, real quick. So you say Worcester. I was at a meeting yesterday in Atlantic City. All the pro bowlers get together in Atlantic City. Everybody from up north, which in our sport consists of Rhode Island and Connecticut, and people from the south, which consists of Maryland and Virginia. So Atlantic City is the halfway point. And I adore the accent that comes out of that area, because I said something to somebody. I said hello to somebody. He says, "Get over here, you cakesucker."
That sounds like Rhode Island.
Oh, my God. A cake sucker? What my fucking sucking down a ding-dong or something? I guess that would make it a cake sucker, wouldn't it?
My dad's husband is from Rhode Island, and he when he talks, I just can't fucking stop laughing. Just the way he says stuff.
You cake sucker. Okay.
You cake sucker. You have a coffee. He sometimes says coffee. I'm gonna have a coffee with just his accent. Absolutely kills me. And he's younger than I am, which is ridiculous.
That'll kill you too.
My sister moved to Long Island right out of college, or maybe she was she was living there in college. Either way, she grew up in upstate New York like me, where the accent is more. I always say it's more Chicago. Like we say cat. A 3-letter word can have 2 syllables the way that we say it.
As it should. Or
we say car. But now, ever since she moved to Long Island, and it makes me laugh because she says dog.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't have a dog.
That ain't a dog, you stupid jamoke.
I had a friend from Long Island who used to. He was not from Long Island. He was from Long Island.
Long Island,
and I was not Wally. I was Wally.
Wally.
He called me Wally.
That
sounds
different.
About right.
Yeah, well, I was Wally, and our friend Bill is from Long Island.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bill is from. He's now our friend. Both of our friends now.
Oh, you cake sucker. All right. I have got to go back inside this fucking hellhole that's losing all my money.
Well, we've been talking for about an hour anyway, and our last 2 episodes have been like an hour and a half, so I feel like we can wrap.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Because the one thing I've learned, or one of the things I've learned, is the 3 of us, the better laughs are when Chris attacks me.
True. True.
So it's good when Chris is on. So
it's good. So I'm now an attacker. Good. I'm an attacker, you cake sucker. You want to go steal something from some fucking store?
We'll go there. I'll go to the store and we'll get some shit.
Now, is this time gonna work for you, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Because I may have shit talked you in the beginning of this episode, and I'm not sorry.
Okay, and I'm not sorry that you did it. And word up to Jessica Mitko again. Okay.
I did all I could do to stay neutral.
That's good. Thanks, you cake sucker.
Yeah, you did.